Awesome. So welcome to our finger food class this evening. So we've got a few dishes that we're hoping to highlight for you. And I'm seeing in the chat that people love taking bread and warm cheese dips, taking cheese balls when they go out and about to their parties with finger food. So we're going to start off, the Aussie potato salad. Yes, that's also really good. We're going to start off this evening, introduce you to Kristen. So it's the usual team we've got cooking. Let me put them all up on your screen so you can have a look. We've got Kristen, we've got Claire, and we've got Bex. So Kristen has her appendage. Hi, Ezekiel. Ezekiel loves to cook with mummy and he is always welcome. Bex might have Noah joining her. Sometimes she does and sometimes she doesn't. It's always we'll wait and see. And Claire is, I think Claire is there. Hi, Claire. And thanks, Claire. She has a really bad headache, so we really appreciate that she's pushing through for us this evening. So we'll start with Kristen and tell us a little bit about your Thermomix journey, Kristen, and what you love most about your machine. What you're cooking for us tonight. You've got the big dish tonight.
Hi, I'm Kristen and I've been a Thermomix consultant since August. And this is Ezekiel and he's very grumpy and tired, so hopefully he will sleep. And tonight I'm making choux pastry and then later on I'm going to make the filling to go in it. So we're going to start with the choux pastry and we're going to put 150 grams of water. Sorry, that was off. Don't know what happened there, but anyway, season 6. Okay, 150 grams of water. Then we're going to put 80 grams of butter, 1 pinch of salt, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. And we are going to put the lid on and it is going to boil for 5 minutes on 100 degrees on speed 1.
Awesome, easy start, thank you. So in the chat box, please tell us, have you made choux pastry in your Thermomix before? Or have you made choux pastry ever? I used to make it at home on the pot and stirring, and there was an art to it. Making choux pastry in the machine is super duper easy, isn't it, Kristen? So easy, almost fail safe. There are lots of external conditions that actually can interfere with your your choux pastry. But yeah, so whilst that is happily, I see not many people except for one person has made it. And when you see how easy it is tonight, you will say, why haven't I made it before? A great addition for your Christmas table for sure. Claire, have you made choux pastry before?
No, not yet, but I do plan to.
Yeah, absolutely. So Claire, please introduce yourself and tell us what you're going to be cooking tonight.
Hi, I'm Claire. I've been a Thermomix consultant for about 5-6 months now, and I'm located in Beachlands, and today I'm making white chocolate cheesecake stuffed strawberries. The strawberries I bought today, I pre-did some just to practice. I'm not the greatest, so please forgive me. But today we're going to start. I've done
pretty good to me. It looks pretty good to me.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can't see it that well.
Yes,
It
this
says
is very
pet dry
forgiving.
15 to 18 strawberries with kitchen paper towels. So I pre-wash these in my simmering basket and have pet them dry already. And I've cut the top off the leaves, and then you will use your piping nozzle just to kind of remove the center out to allow space for your cheesecake filling. So I am not the greatest, so mine's a bit messy, but I think it will still taste the same. And then it will ask you to slice the bottom of the strawberry off, just so when it is on your, let me just get a nicer piece, on your plate, it will stand up quite nicely.
That's so pretty. And this is such an easy recipe, isn't it?
Yeah, and it smells good too. It's very summery. So I still need practice with the taking this out. But it's not, I mean, it's something that I'm guessing the more you do it, and the tips and tricks and stuff you'll learn on the way to make it whatever's easier for you.
Now, with the bits that you're taking out, is that going to be included in the filling?
No,
Oh,
those are
okay.
your chef's bits that you can eat later. And then we slice the bottom off again, and then we pop them on, and then they will stand up, hopefully.
See how they look on the bottom? Oh, so you've just taken a little.
Yeah, so you just
Nice.
slice it off the bottom just so it sits nicely on your plate or your platter, or what do you have there on. And now we are going to put our white chocolate chips in. So I haven't used white chocolate chips, I'm a bit bougie, and I've used a Whittaker's white chocolate block. So I've got 80 grams going in. It's a little more, that's okay, I'm okay with that. And then we're going to pop our lid on, and we're going to go 5 seconds on speed 7. It's going to be a bit loud. There we go.
Guys, you will see the recipe links to Cookie Doo in the chat. Look at that. So beautifully whizzed up in 5 seconds. Love it.
Yep. And oh my God, it smells so good.
And chocolate is one of those things that does make a noise in your Thermomix, but it's just because we've got the power of the blade, we've got a really hard ingredient, and then the stainless steel bowl. So that is what's going to make that loud sound. Yeah.
So now with the measuring cup inserted, we're now going to melt our chocolate at 50 degrees for 2 minutes, and it's just on stirring. So I'm going to do that now. I'll see you guys soon.
See, thank you.
Okay, so
Good timing.
that has melted
Perfect.
everything down. And now we're going to add, when my scales stop being silly. There we go.
What's happened?
My scales don't like my bench because my bench top isn't attached to my cupboard. So every time I go to put something in, it jumps up. The scales don't stay.
Yeah.
But that's my scales, my bench, not the machine. And now it is going to mix for 20 seconds on speed 4.
So Kirsten's mixing the flour in with the hot or warm, should we say, warm liquids, and it's important, this part of the step is important, that you actually are cooking the flour, and the starch in the flour needs to gelatinize. So when they mixed, the granules within the flour will actually absorb the water, swell, and then explode. And this is what thickens the mixture here. And so you do need to have it at that correct temperature to allow this to happen. So there we go. That looks absolutely perfect. So you don't want a puddle, you want that. Exactly what Kristen's showing you, a lovely thick, like soft and flexible dough.
And now the recipe says to remove the mixing bowl from your machine and set it aside to cool for 10 minutes. Now, I'm going to put mine in the fridge only because my house is very warm and it doesn't cool down as quickly as it has in the past. So I'm going to put it in the fridge and hope that it cools down a little bit quicker.
If it's not cooling down in time, we'll keep leaving you to the end, but hopefully we've got enough time to allow it to cool down. And this part is incredibly important, friends, because if you rush this part, and the steps after this are adding your eggs. So if you rush this part and you do it when the mixture's too hot, you are going to curdle and have scrambled eggs. So you don't want that. Eggs cook and thicken at 65 degrees. So when you put it back into the unit, you will be able to see at what temperature the bowl is. And that's why it needs to be less than 65 for your recipe to work well. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on. Thanks, Kristen. Right, let's see Bex. Hi, Bex. Are you ready for us? You're going to introduce yourself and tell us what you're making tonight.
Hi. Hello. Sorry, just making lunch boxes for tomorrow. Hi, everybody. So I'm Bex and I live here in Botany. I have been a Thermomix consultant for 2 years now. And the dish that I am making tonight is the cauliflower buffalo bites. And I've chosen this recipe because one of the things that I noticed when I first got my Thermomix is how much you can do with one of my favorite vegetables, cauliflower. So they're actually really versatile. And there are so many different things that you can do with cauliflower on what you do. So that's why I've decided to do them tonight, actually. There's a little bit of a backstory on that. Okay, so just a reminder that what we're doing right now is we are milling. And when you are milling, you need to make sure that you always have a dry bowl, bone dry bowl. And that's why you can get, that's why you should have a second one as well, so you can keep it nice and dry. So in here, we have got some brown rice, and I'm sure you could use white rice if you only had that. Sorry, pressing the wrong button. 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, some salt and some pepper. So I'll just go ahead and throw that all in. And then I believe we're going to be milling this 30 seconds on speed 10.
Awesome. So whilst Bex is milling that, I'm just going to pop up a quick poll, if you wouldn't mind, to just answer the questions as to whether or not you are a Thermomix owner. It's just so that we know how to communicate, what kind of information to share, tips, tricks, hints, suggestions. If you don't have a Thermomix, then you might not understand some of what we're talking about. So we just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. So thank you very much. We've got 67% answering. Let's just get those last people across the line. It's just a yes, no. Quick answer, thank you. And there is no obligation, of course, to answer.
Ready to go?
Awesome. Thanks, Bex.
Okay, so here is our mill dry ingredients. So that is very nice and fine. Love the look of that. And it says to pour it into a large bowl. So I've got this bowl here. I'm going to pour that in. Okay, let's have a look. What's up next? Preheat oven to 230, all done. Got a baking tray, all done. I'm going to dip the cauliflower cut into florets, reserve into the rice flour, and mix and coat evenly. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then they'll probably all go back onto the tray. Once I've done that, let me see. Shake off the excess and place onto prepared baking tray and then bake for 5 minutes. And then when I see you next, we'll be doing the sauce.
Super easy. So please pop in the chat if you have made any of these little finger foods that we are demonstrating here tonight and what your thoughts around them were, or yeah, if you're feeling inspired, we'd love to hear. Right, let's go back to Claire, who is hopefully got some melted chocolate for us.
Yes, I do. You got some lovely melted white chocolate.
So good. And the beautiful thing about melting or tempering chocolate in the Thermomix is the temperature is so exact. So it's perfect. You can't ever burn it.
So next we're going to add 120 grams of cream cheese that's been softened. So I've had this out the fridge for about 20 minutes now. So I'm going to pop that in. And 50 grams of whipping cream.
So I'm not seeing anything happening in the chat box, guys. You're very quiet tonight. You're normally so busy. Come on, share with us what you're thinking. What are your thoughts? Which of these recipes are you inspired to try and make?
Go. And then next, a tablespoon of lemon juice. So my lemon tree has not given me lemons just yet, but there's heaps coming. So I'm cheating and using store-bought. Tablespoon of lemon juice. And vanilla extract, sorry, hang on. There you go. And quarter of a teaspoon, yeah.
Oh, it looks like the strawberries are a firm favorite. Definitely.
God, pressure. And now we're going to whip that up for 2 minutes on speed 4.
Are you using your whisk or is it just using the blades?
And ask for a whisk.
Okay, cool. All right, so 2 minutes, speed 4, that's giving that all a nice whip. Let's see how Bex is getting on preparing her bites. How are those looking there, Bex?
They are looking so good. I love to hear that everybody is inspired by the strawberries, eating your fruit, but I'd really like to have some people that want to have some vegetables as well, like this cauliflower. I guess you could compare this.
You've just had a comment now. Valeria says she will be trying Bex's cauliflower recipe this week, so don't feel sad.
Yes. Oh, that makes me so happy. Let me just put the timer on for 5 minutes, because trust me, I will forget about it. That is why I need an oven with a timer. I need Thermomix with a timer.
What do you need to do next in your buffalo bites? You're going to prepare the buffalo sauce, yeah?
I am. So now I need 90 grams of raw cauliflower. Raw cauliflower, raw cashews.
I wasn't going to question that, but I was like, oh.
Sorry, raw cashews. Now, we don't have sriracha in this house. We don't do spice. So we've just got some sweet, mild chili sauce, just the bottle.
Oh, that's
type.
a great option. Yeah.
Thank you. And then we've also got 60 grams of coconut oil and 2 teaspoons of Worcester sauce and 240 grams of water. So let me just go ahead and put that in. It's a bit of an interesting mix, but
isn't it?
I trust Cookie Do. I do. Now we're going to be blitzing that for 1 minute. This is going to be interesting.
Speed. So when the machine's working, you can see it's at speed 10. That means it's actually working at 10,000 revs per minute to blend this sauce. It's called the buffalo sauce that we're going to be dipping the cauliflower into. And so the machine is not only has very sharp blades, which is obviously what helps with chopping and that, but it's also the power of the machine that's working behind the blades, which is what gives the machine its beauty, strength, and durability. Awesome. So I think, Kristen, we've still got a way to go. Hey, we know we're near 10 minutes. Yeah, so she's not nodding. Claire is ready for us, so I'm gonna pop her back.
Yes, so
Claire.
this has whipped everything up together, cream cheese and everything. Next, we are going to transfer it into our piping bag with, I've just used this nozzle, so it's not too wide, but it's not the smallest one either. And I'm using a measuring jug to hold the piping bag open for me while I spoon in the mixture. Open the bag up. Now we're going to transfer it into our piping bag.
Let me see what it looks like. Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's quite soft.
Mm. But it'll probably harden.
Yeah,
Does it need to go in the fridge before serving? I can't remember.
I
White
don't think
chocolate.
so. Possibly for
Serve immediately.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's especially in summer. If you're not going to serve immediately, obviously you'd put it in the fridge. Yeah. Apparently, my house feels like a fridge because I love it to be nice and cold. It's currently cranking at 16 degrees, so it should be
lovely.
It should be cold enough in here for it, but we'll see.
Yes, that's a Thermomix piping bag that Claire is using, definitely available in the Mix Shop. And don't forget, tomorrow, 20% sales starts at the Mix Shop. So go put your bits and pieces in your shopping cart tonight, so that when you get ready to check out tomorrow, I'm not sure exactly what time, when you get ready to check out, you'll get a nice discount. But those piping bags are awesome.
So now we're going to fill our strawberries with our mixture. So I start off with a big strawberry because I don't want to make a big mess.
We're just struggling to see. Oh, look at that. That's so yummy.
It smells really good too. I just go a bit extra because, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of extra.
This recipe comes from the collection called Chocolate Lovers collection. So check it out on Cookie Do. It's fantastic.
And they're just so cute. And you could probably, if you really wanted to, you could chop up some dark chocolate in the Thermomix and sprinkle that on top, because that would be quite yum. And I have seen people do something similar like this. Oh, I think I don't have another one. With your cut off of your bottom of your strawberry, you could pop it on top. And
that
then
would
put
be
a
nice.
white little Santa hats.
Oh, cute. Yeah, love that.
I mean, if it's anything Christmassy, I'm there. So there you go. Get to that method. So that is it there. I'll just do another one and good.
Great. Really, really good. A nice little mint leaf would also look nice.
Yes,
a little bit of mint on that would look really pretty.
Lovely.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll let you finish those up. And Bex. So Bex, tell us what you're doing.
So these have been in the oven for 5 minutes, and this is the sauce here, and it tastes a lot better than it looks. And now what I'm doing is I've got my tongs and I am just dipping each piece of my cauliflower in, and I'm putting it back onto the tray. I'm then going to cook them for 10 minutes at the same temperature, 230, nice and hot, and then take them out, put some more sauce on, and then put them back in the oven for 5 minutes. So I'll just do this nice and quickly so I'm ready to go.
You made these before, Bex?
No, I haven't. But they seem pretty easy enough. I guess they are the vegetarian or the vegan version of chicken buffalo bites. Like those are really popular in America.
Definitely, and they're vegan, yeah, because you've used the cashew nuts to make the creamy sauce. Yeah,
sauce. Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
really yummy, and it's like, yeah, this is really yummy already. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna just also ask Bex if you can take over. How can I do that with you?
You make me co-host, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see how I can do that.
Well, let me just jump in the car and I'll come over.
There you go. I'm making you co-host. So if people need to get stuck and have to come back in, that's fine. And I'm going to go to my kitchen and get ready to show you the dish that I'm cooking this evening. So sorry, just a little bit of moving around and reorganizing myself. I'll take my blurred background away, otherwise nobody will be able to see anything. All right, there we go. So welcome to my kitchen this evening. It's lovely to have you. And
Just trying to spotlight you, but I can't do it on my phone.
okay, I'll do it. Here we go.
Thank you.
Well, good. Welcome to my kitchen. Nice to have you. So, as you know, I'm Michelle Ramsey. I'm team leader for Team Turbo, a lovely bunch of East Auckland consultants. We have a lot of fun, and we have loved doing these sessions for you every week, every Wednesday and Sunday since we've been in lockdown in Auckland for 98, nearly 100 days. It's been great, and we've made lots of friends along the way. So it's super, super exciting. Right, so I'm going to my machine, and what I'm going to be making is what they call trout mousse. And I just love this sound of the recipe, but actually to try and find trout, yeah, I needed a lot more time and I needed to be much better prepared. Babes, where would you get trout from? The special fish shop? Because they definitely didn't have it at New World.
Catch it in the river.
I know. I know it would be so good with fresh trout caught in your river. Yum. Anyway, so what I've done is it's asking for smoked trout. So I've just subbed out for smoked salmon. So I think it's going to be absolutely yummy. So start. So it's asking for 4 shallots. So I'm just going to, and I'm making half the recipe just because it'll only be my husband and I eating it. And it looks like it could make quite a bit. So I've just put in 2 shallots, and now it's asking me to chop them up 7 seconds for 3 seconds. So nice and fine. I'm just going to double check that. The nice thing about guided cooking is if you feel it isn't chopped finely enough, so that's 3 seconds. If you feel it needs a little bit more chopping, you just pop it down the sides and give it another whirl, which is what I'm going to do. And to do this, you can take a step back on your machine and redo the last step. And I'm wondering if most of you with the TM6 have noticed with the latest update, really, really super cool, that when you do your step, it comes up on the screen the option to preview your recipe. So which actually means it tells you what the very next steps are on the screen here whilst you're going through it. So yeah, really good. Okay, sorry, what was that? No, that's fine. So now I'm going to add 250 grams of trout, which it's not. It is 200 grams ish. Well, actually, it's not. So it's 147 grams. So that's really disappointing, hey, because I paid for 180 grams of salmon. But obviously, the skin counts for quite a lot. You become the weighing police when you have a Thermomix because it weighs so beautifully and precisely. Yeah, I feel a bit ripped off, really. But anyway, that's okay. I'll get over it. Right, 150 grams of creme fraiche, which I have halved just as well because I only got a little bit of salmon. There we go. And next, a little bit of salt. A quarter teaspoon is a pinch. Did you know that? And 8 or 6 is a pinch of salt. And we're just popping the lid back on. We're going to give that a nice blend at speed 7 for 30 seconds.
If anybody else was going to make this dish and you didn't have trout, what other fish do you think that you could use? I'm blank. I can't think of anything. Smoked. Someone help me out here. And then I wonder if you didn't, any smoked fish would be great. Okay, any smoked fish. What about smoked chicken? Just an idea.
I reckon, definitely.
Yeah?
It was smoked mackerel, and I was really tempted to try it. And I was standing there Googling what was good about mackerel, but actually I've never eaten mackerel, so I wouldn't begin to be able to know what it would be like. So there we go. It's beautifully blended up, really quite smooth. I might, but also there's some on the sides. I might need to scrape it down. No, it doesn't ask me to do that. Okay, I'm going to keep it with a little bit. No, I'm going to keep it like that. So this is a texture. It's not like puree smooth. It's still a little bit bitty, and I think that's what you want. I think you want that kind of consistency, not a very smooth puree. So here is my Thermomix piping bag. I've got the same nozzle that Claire is using, except it's a slightly bigger star. And I like to pop it in this little, it's my utensils holder. I'm just going to move my machine. Remember, when you move your machine, the scales are always in the little feet. So you always want to pick it up by the handle and move it and not drag it along with your counter. So I'm going to pop this mixture into the piping bag. This is your starter bag. You're going to start it tonight, aren't you lucky? Right, and there we go. This is really, it's a great quality piping bag. They really are amazing. All right, and so they've said to use some pumpernickel or brown bread. Now I'm gluten-free, so I got these beautiful crackers, gluten-free rye and pumpkin seed crackers. I do usually make my own, but this week we've had a few challenges. So there we go. I'm just piping a nice decent amount onto each cracker. So they're saying it should put 20 little slices, and I can see it do that. I don't think you need too much because it is quite strong. In fact, I haven't, let me have a taste. Yum. That was really good.
Yeah, and because you didn't have the full amount of salmon, is it fishy salmon enough?
Absolutely perfect. I don't have to add, and I don't need to have a tantrum. It's really good. And halving the recipe, the flavors and the balance is just perfect. So if you are making the full amount, it would be just right as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm throwing it around the kitchen. There you go, babes. Do you want to have a taste? To show the group team people. Come on, give them a thumbs up, please. It's never camera shy.
Michelle, what is that cracker recipe that you're using?
This is not, this one, these ones are purchased. I normally use the seed crackers. I can put the link up when I go back to my desk.
Sure, thank you.
It's actually a Fiona Hoskin recipe. If you type in there Fiona, Fiona, Hoskin, seeded crackers, seed crackers. That's the recipe I use. I love it. I think it's brilliant. It's very similar to the one that's on Cookie Do, but I There's something I just can't cope with chia seeds. Chia seeds and I don't enjoy each other. And so her recipe doesn't call for chia seeds. It just calls for pumpkin, flaxseed, sesame, and sunflower, a little bit of psyllium husk, water. It's so easy and so cheap. And like I said, I paid, I think it was this, these were on special, so $5 for this packet of crackers, which I never normally do. But there we go. You guys are special, so I did it for you. So there we go. So there's my little creation, and I'd be quite happy taking that to bring a plate. What do you think? Thanks, Bex. I'll let you go to whoever's next.
Are you coming back, Michelle? Because I can't spotlight on my phone. I obviously didn't read the run sheet. My fault.
Okay. So awesome. Thanks for that. No, that's all good. So let's go back to Kristen and see how she's getting on there. How are we looking there, Kristen?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that's all right. Just checking. So I've just put my bowl back into my machine after being in the fridge, and it is telling me it's at 55 degrees. So we are good to go. So my oven is already preheated to 200 degrees. And now the next step is that you turn it to speed 5 with no timer, and you add your 3 eggs. Once you've added your 3 eggs, then you stop it and mix it again after that. So
How do you do it?
So we have started it on speed 5. Now we're going to crack one at a time our 3 eggs. Then you press next and stop it. And then you put your measuring cup in and you mix it for 30 seconds. And if you don't stop it after you do your egg, it will just continue and continue and continue, because I've done it before.
I love it. So very important that you get your temperature down and adding in your eggs. So let's see what that turns out. So after this, after they've been incorporated nicely and beaten up a little bit, we are going to pop them in. Oh, that looks incredible. What a beautiful smooth dough. That's exactly what you're wanting.
So now I've got my piping bag inside my big Thermomix cup.
Guys, if you haven't got the idea that the piping bag is amazing, like this has not been planned. I was saying to Kristen, if you haven't got a piping bag, you can, use a Ziploc bag and just cut off the corner. And guys, you don't need to have these piping bags at all. In fact, one of us should have shown you how to use a Ziploc bag as a piping bag. That would have been helpful. But hey, easy enough. You can always just cut off a corner and pop your mixture in, zip it up nicely and squeeze it out like that. Yeah, looks really good, your dough. It's worked nicely.
I'm glad. Okay, now
so friends, just if you missed the beginning or if you want to watch the replay, especially watching the choux pastry and watching the tips and how Kristen's going to pipe it for you now. You're welcome to do that. So we will have this recording up on my YouTube channel, and it'll be there for you to be able to look in. That looks amazing. Look how you're professional you do it.
I've had lots of practice today.
So explain, so tell, there's a little you're doing like a little twist at the end. I'm watching intrigued.
I've watched a lot of MasterChef when I've made it, so I'm kind of just pretending to be a master chef and trying to copy what they do.
And you do,
But yes.
they do expand quite a bit, don't they, the choux pastries? So you need to have some decent gaps between them,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah. So they will puff up quite a bit. So you don't want them too close, otherwise they will form one big one. Although I haven't had that happen yet, so obviously I've left enough space previously. So
Well, that looks good. So you're going to pop those in the oven, and
Yep.
fantastic. And then let me see how Bex is doing. I like to see that we have inspired a couple of you to go and get. Kristen, are you going to wash your bowl and then get ready to make the filling?
Yeah.
Awesome. See, guys, this is where you need a second bowl. Just saying, Kristen. Bex and Noah. Hi, Noah, you've joined us.
Noah, say hi. Hi.
Hi, Thermomix boy.
We've got a minute left. I'll take them out now. So
because
and then we'll-
you've got to do a second dunking, is that right? Or not really?
yeah, just pouring a little bit on top. Noah, very, very hot. Hot coming through. Move. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
It does look good.
Put that down a little bit. Okay, so these are looking really good. Now it says, don't touch. No, very hot. It just says to spoon the rest of the mixture on top of it and then put it back in for another 5 minutes. So yeah, and then oh, my glasses, I can't see. And then it says to serve with the cookie dough cheese, cookie dough blue cheese tofu dressing. I'll probably just eat them like this, to be honest, or maybe some more, maybe a different kind of cheese sauce. But yeah, so I'll see you again soon once I've put these back in the oven.
Awesome. What do you think, Noah?
My turn.
Mummy, Noah's turn.
Oh no, I don't trust him.
Right.
Don't. It's 3, not 13.
It looks really good, doesn't it? Kristen, are you ready for us?
Apple.
Look at that, good
Apple.
timing. All right, so Kristen's going to make the filling for her choux buns. Now the filling is a recipe,
Apple.
community recipe.
Apple.
So I will find that for you. And for those that are aware that on the 29th of November, we have Cookie Dough 3.0 coming, which is super exciting. We're super excited. I've been able to trial it for the last month, and it is fantastic. We are loving it. And so what that enables is for you to be able to modify and change any of the cookie dough recipes that are currently on the platform. If you change it, so for example, the butter chicken, I put a few other ingredients in my butter chicken and I blitz it up, and there's a couple of other steps, and I add a bit of brown sugar. And the thing for me now is I always want to make the butter chicken because I've made those tweaks to my recipe that I know the boys like. Whereas what I'm able to do with Cookie Dough 3 is then edit that recipe and save it to my own recipe. So which means, hey, Dad, tonight you can make butter chicken, and he'll make it the same as I do because all my special tweaks will already be there. So it's really going to be super, super helpful in terms of things like that. Okay. Oh, that's what I was going to do. So the recipe community recipe, all the recipe community recipes, you are able to import those directly into your new created recipes, and you will be able to use those on the screen of your TM6. So that's really exciting. And I'm just looking for the filling now that Kristen's doing. Okay, Kristen, tell us what you're doing.
Okay. One moment.
I hope your sound's okay now. No. Panic. Talk. Please, can we hear you? No. Oh, we love technical difficulties. It's better. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry, the child just needed me.
That's all
of
right.
course.
That's the beauty of working from home.
Okay, so I am going to put into here, it's manual cooking this time because it's a recipe community recipe. So into here is my clove of garlic, my chives and parsley. The recipe does ask for fresh chives and fresh parsley, but I couldn't find fresh parsley, so I'm just using the dry parsley for my entry, but that's all right. And we are going to wow, that seems really long. It says to chop it for 5 minutes on speed 7, but we're not going to do that because that seems like a very long time.
Yeah, no, that'll be 5 seconds. Definitely. There's a typo there. That's the thing about recipe community. So people have people like yourselves, consultants, just avid users, upload their recipes onto recipe community for everyone to enjoy. And that's the beauty of joining that community. If you're looking for other Thermomix recipes that you're not finding in Cookie-Doo.
So that was about 5 seconds. So yeah, definitely 5 seconds and not 5 minutes. And now I'm adding 3 tablespoons of sour cream and a whole tub of cream cheese.
I have put the recipe for the filling into the chat box, the recipe community. And because it's recipe community, you will need to work manually from the home screen of your computer, just like Kristen is doing. So it's called cheese stuffed choux. Cheese stuffed choux, and basically, yeah, it's a nice cheesy filling.
Okay, and I'm going to mix that for 5 seconds. Again, on speed 5.
The beauty with this is you can get it as chopped as finely or as, as roughly as you want. It looks really good.
It smells delicious.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I'm going to add it to my next pipey bag.
Just going to look at Bex quickly and see what she's doing there. Good. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, so I've just got them out of the oven, and they're browned quite nicely.
wait.
Um,
Come back, come back, come back. Thank you. Took a photo. That looks really good.
and in actual fact, so I'm just taking them off the tray, and there's still quite a bit of like sauce. So I might just put that into a little dish, and then we can use that to dip in. But we'll probably eat these tomorrow for lunch. I'll probably chuck them in the air fryer. That'll crisp them up. And I'll be putting some into Noah's kindy lunchbox for tomorrow, and he won't even know that it's cauliflower. Ooh, dreaded cauliflower. Yeah, it's made a huge amount. This is really cool. It smells really good. It's really hot. I can hear them sizzling. So I'm not going to try it yet, but I can show you it tastes really good. And I'm going to just dish some up for my papa now. So
All right, Kristen, we're back at you. Show us your piping skills at work.
So these are some choux pastry that I made earlier today, just because they have to cool down before you add your filling. And of course I use the whole one. Was we doing other things? Okay. So then you
That's
just
what you're doing.
have it in your. So when you make your choux, hold on, my oven's just heating. When you make the choux pastry, the recipe, when it finishes cooking, you take them out of the oven quickly, and you're meant to press the bottoms and then put them back in the oven for 10 minutes to cool down with the door open a little bit. That just helps them to not go flat.
Perfect.
But yes, and then you just fill them up.
You're making a little hole into the bottom of the choux and just
At the moment, I'm making a hole with the tip of my.
let's see. Okay, so you've used the smaller tip.
Yes, yeah. So I've changed tips and I've got the smaller one. I probably could have used the bigger one, but that's all right.
That makes, otherwise it'll be oozing out everywhere over the bottom. That looks great. And so you're just squeezing it until it's full in the inside.
Yeah. And you can kind of feel when there's enough filling in there. They feel a lot heavier than what they do when they're empty.
Are you able to cut one in half so we can have a look what it looks like in the middle, please?
Yes.
And whilst you do that, I'm just going to go to Claire and she can show us her beautiful chocolate strawberries and
Okay, so I think
of the recipe.
I think using the Whittaker's white chocolate, because it's a very creamy chocolate, has made it just that little bit too soft. So
interesting.
I think next time making this, I would just use normal white chocolate, like buttons, for melting and stuff that you can get from a supermarket. But they still taste really good. I have tried them, and I have put some strawberry on top of a few of them.
Look
and
beautiful.
I put a little on top, so it looks like a little Santa hat, kind of.
They do. They look very cute. Very nice.
And I thought it'd be quite cute if you icing sugar on or dark chocolate, like even if it's a flake, but I'd rather do Whittaker's dark chocolate in the Thermomix and sprinkle that on as well.
All about the chocolate for sure. It's nice. It's nice sometimes trying something a little bit different and then be able to compare and see whether it works out or not. That's where our creativity is encouraged using the Thermomix.
Yeah, because I did put it in the freezer for a bit to see if that helped. And it did at first, when it first comes out the piping bag, like it literally just, I'll show you on my finger, it came out showing like that nice pattern on it, but then it just starts to go flat a little bit. So I think if it was just a little bit thicker, it would be perfect, but it still tastes amazing. That's me tonight.
Absolutely. In front of TV.
Yes, and the diet's out the window, so that's okay.
Double boot camp tomorrow.
Oh, I did that today. knowing this was happening, so it's okay.
All right, Kristen. Oh, okay, look at that. Very nice. That looks good. That, cool. Are you happy with those?
Yes, the filling tastes delicious.
Is it? Yeah. Fantastic. Well, that's our class for you guys this evening. Let me put the beautiful ladies back the spotlight with their dishes, and I'll take a photo of everyone. 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Lovely as always to have you. And you will be able to find a replay of this if you'd like it on the YouTube channel Theory Life New Zealand.